Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. We got Tasha T. Sizzle all the way from the D-Aura in her do-rag, looking good. And I like the way it's matching the top there, Tasha. You looking mighty spry and spruce
I
this morning.
tried. I tried.
How you feeling this morning?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I am a little sleepy, but other than that, because I don't sleep well. When you get older, sometimes your
That's
sleep
right.
just do what it want to do, and sometimes my sleep want to look at the ceiling and blink.
And no matter what time Tasha goes to bed, I promise you, she gonna beat that rooster's ass up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Pot and pan in hand. We'll talk about that on another show. Pot and pan in hand. Get up! I need my Polynesian sauce. Woo! I was that little kid on that meme that got woke up by the police and drug out of that cell. That was your boy. I was scared as hell. Now I'm used to it. I shall digress. We got a lot of sports to talk about today, T Sizzle. But before we get into any of that, can we please give a shout out to our sponsor?
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com.
Right on. Make sure you check that out. And we're also brought to you by Wolverine Comics TX. That's Wolverine Comics _TX. Get all of your DC comic needs done. Check out Michael Hasso's Instagram page and his site as well. Speaking of the angel, and he appears because we don't deal with no devils on this show. Michigan Mike checking in. Hang around, Mike. We're going to talk about your boys here in just a second. Now, Tasha, Mike, since you're sitting there getting that paper, NBA free agency officially started yesterday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And as of right now, as of this live taping, over $1 billion have been shelled out. $1 billion with a B. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Wish I had a girl who the good I would call her.
Wait a minute, Tasha, you asked me the same thing.
That's what I said, Mike. I said, you lose a bet. I said, why you wearing the enemy's ish? You
I know, y'all. I'm going to explain to this as the show progresses. While
I mean, Mike, he got the hat and the shirt.
Now, I originally, in all fairness, I originally purchased this. It wasn't a lost bet to support Hustle and his son when he got the scholarship a couple of years ago to go to TCU. So I told him if I ever went to a game, I would come in full guard. But I wanted to burn this MFer after last January. Y'all understand what I mean by that. All right, so free agency has started. Let's highlight some of the big points. First of all, let's start with Don't You Believe It, a.k.a. Draymond Green. He opted out of his contract a couple of weeks ago, re-signed with the Golden State Warriors on a 4-year, $100 million contract. I didn't know that he was only 33 years old. He's a rough 33.
Baby?
No, Mike, I ain't got no more damn TCU gear to Michigan. You see the pinky ring? All right.
Baby, that's a hard 33.
That's a hard 33, Tasha. He looks older than LeBron, and I'm not even trolling.
Yes.
Draymond Stan, I did call that, but Mike, this is what I didn't call. I didn't call them picking Draymond over Jordan Poole, so that's where I'm coming to you with, Tasha. Draymond Green signed a 4-year deal at the age of 33. Last week, we just talked about they traded away a young centerpiece in Jordan Poole, who had just signed a 4-year deal with them. Tasha, did Golden State make a mistake investing the next 4 years in Draymond over Poole, in your opinion?
Well, as long as you got a Steph and now you got a CP3 out there, you really don't need a Poole. So therefore, you can keep Draymond just out there aggravating people and really not doing anything.
Let's go to the really not doing anything, because it seems to me like it's diminished returns, almost like this was some kind of legacy contract. Is he really $100 million player at this stage of his career?
No. I mean, what he does for them is obviously valuable, and it obviously works. So maybe they're just paying him, for him to be like the Patrick Beverly type player, almost just to get on people's nerves. Because Draymond will show you sparks of, I can play this game, but that's really not his game.
Right. You can't put the ball in his hand in the last 2 minutes and expect him to deliver you a victory. To me, this seemed like a Steph and Clay call. Let's get this young loudmouth out of here and keep our brother Draymond on board. It's going to be interesting to see what that new core four looks like with, like you said, with Poole. I mean, with Poole out of the picture, you got CP3, Draymond, Steph, and Clay. It's an old tandem. Do you think that Golden State's window is still open with this four as your core players?
As long as Steph is there, I'm not going to ever count them out because his game does not predicate him to be really, really physical. So as long as you're not in there bumping, getting, because Steph don't really get knocked down because, you know, they getting back on defense and he just stopping where he is and shooting. You know,
you don't even have time to get up on him.
Right. I mean, and I don't see Steph's knee. He don't look weak in the knees. Even when he came back from injury, he was still the same Steph.
And shout out to whoever got his ankles together, because that was not only a career saver for him, but it was a game changer for the whole sport of basketball. When he brought out those cafeteria lady shoes about 5-6 years ago, we thought that this might be the end for Steph with those ankle injuries, but shouts out to him for prolonging his career. I totally agree with you. As long as you got Steph on the team, you got a chance.
Not the nursing home nurse sevens.
You call them the nursing home sevens? All right, Mike, we're about to come down your road. The Dallas Mavericks re-signed Kyrie Irving to a 3-year, $126 million deal. Tasha, first question. Did Kyrie choose the bling over the ring? Do you think him and Luka can be a championship duo?
I never thought I would say this, but if Luka don't do what he's supposed to be doing, I mean, the fact that we're trusting more in Kyrie than we are in Luka at this point, but I did hear that they had got him a nutritionist and a personal, so at least they know, look, fat ass, we can't win this without you, so this is what we're going to do. Kind of like what I think the Pelicans probably should have did with fat ass original, is to get him somebody. Well, hell, they can't. No, let me just cancel that point. It don't make a difference who you would have put on him because he gonna do what he wanted to do, and that's obvious in what's going on in his person.
He gonna eat his food and his porn stars. That's what he gonna eat.
Right.
That's all we've seen him eat so far in his career. Luka, a different player now. Be ready. We shall see. Tasha, now we know that there's two Kyries. There's the Kyrie that's looking for a deal Kyrie that we saw last year on his best behavior. And then there's crazy Kyrie that once he gets his money, he starts missing work and causing problems and won't out. Tasha, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your confidence level in Kyrie playing out this whole deal?
Confidence is low because it's going to come to a point where KK is going to show his head.
Yeah.
And I hate that for him because Kyrie is so talented. I mean, he was almost a next level AI.
Right. He is a next level AI. He has more skills than Allen Iverson, in my opinion.
But as crazy as people tried to make AI or tried to make him out to be this thug or whatever, AI never mentally, he was always there.
Right.
Physically, he was
there
always
in the game. Maybe not there in practice, but he gonna give you 40 and 10 on game night. Right. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. But kudos to Dallas. I mean, 6 months ago, they looked like that they were headed to Nowhereville once they tanked and missed the playoffs. And I thought Kyrie would go run off to go be with LeBron, and Luka was overweight. There was just a lot of stuff going on. It looks like that they're at least pointing the ship back in the right direction. Now, Tasha, stop me if you heard this. There's an interesting development coming out of the city of Memphis in regards to its basketball team. Have you heard that recently?
I saw it.
Right. Now, this time, as we say, what's up to Jarrell Green? He says, Kyrie's world, we just living in it. Hey, I'm a Kyrie stan. Kyrie, I'm the only person who liked Uncle Drew movie, all right? I still watch it. I got it saved on my DVR. Don't do that, Tasha. You ain't watching Uncle Drew?
I'm not saying it was bad, but it's not, I'm going to save it on my DVR worthy.
That's fair. The ratings support Tasha's assessment of that show. Good morning. Oh, well, wait a minute. We got a new chiffon on. Wait a minute with the thinking man. Okay, all right. We see you with the curls and pearls. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. She's firing off quick. She said paper mache ass knee is coming. Oh. Firing in hot.
I'm laughing because that's why I said, how's this boy's whole body made of paper mache?
Right.
Knees made of paper mache, his body made of glass. Jesus.
We love you, Shamika Nicole. You are an FOS, a friend of the show. Kenny, Tasha already got on me about being sensitive about them Titans now. So I'm not going to even get into them this week. We'll start on football next week. But yes, we're getting out of hand, and we'll be talking about that next week to the delight of Tasha, because once again, we look like everything she said we was, trash. See, I threw you some flowers there. You said we was trash, and we ain't did nothing to disprove you this offseason. I digress. So in Memphis, Tasha, check this out. I woke up this morning to a tweet that gave me the double eyeball emoji. Shooting guard Desmond Bane just signed a 5-year, $207 million contract extension, the highest contract ever given out by the franchise, even higher than Yosemite Sam, that gun-toting, braid-wearing kid from South Carolina, Mr. John Morant. John Morant in February signed a 5-year deal for $193. Now you come behind him with the shooting guard out of TCU, the Horned Frog. While I'm rocking this for Desmond Bane as a congratulations to him. The Horned Frog, he was the 30th pick in the draft, Tasha. He's making $207 million. Now, kudos to him because he did deserve the money. But is this going to create a problem with Josh? Is Josh going to feel some kind of way about this?
Josh should be grateful that he's still in the league and that the team is just like, hey, we're going to deal with this. So he needs to be happy with what he got at this point.
So okay, and I agree. Shouts out to Justin checking in saying that red would look better on you than purple. Now look, this is a one-time thing now, and he's talking about the Chiefs.
I know.
We'll get into them next week. Now Shamika agrees with you, says he shouldn't, but we all know that he's never been accused of being mature. Do you think that he is going to act out? Do you think this will be to his detriment?
Well, we'll know if breaking news and he done pulled out his because he was mad and he in the back shooting turkeys.
Right. What type of message do you think the Grizzlies are sending to Ja that Bane, somebody who's been a model citizen, got a bigger bag than Ja this year?
You know what he's sending the message? The message that Beyonce said, to the left, to the left. Don't you ever for a second get to thinking you're irreplaceable.
Now,
even though Ja is a once in a draft round, pick or talent, but we never thought we would see something as close to Michael Jordan again. We never thought we would see anything the likes of LeBron. So anything can happen.
Hey, not only is he built like a running back,
hence his name, Bane.
Right.
Man.
This man, his shooting percentage, his assists and rebounds have gone up each year since he was drafted in 2020. He's one of the top free throw shooters in the league at over 90%. One of the top 3-point percentage at like 43%. He earned the bag, and he can hoop. Mike says, Grizz saying, F around and find out. Don't think you're irreplaceable. Don't think you're irreplaceable. I'm feeling that because we got one. Wait, no, I ain't in town. Memphis is like, we done had enough of you, John.
MEMPHIS, one town.
I was so glad to see that, to see a good player, somebody who's represented the team well, be rewarded in that fashion, because you're telling the locker room, we're not paying for no more foolishness.
Right.
We're just not doing it.
We put your face out there, and this is what you did to us.
This is what you did.
I told you. I said once they start hitting him in his pockets.
You said it. You called that.
Realizing that by giving Bane this money, and he sitting in the back looking like, well, shoot, that was supposed to be mine. Yeah, it was. It was.
And you dropped that bag. They didn't fumble that bag. You fumbled that bag. And if I'm Desmond Bane, I'm like, you good, bro? You good? Like, because I ain't giving back a penny of this money. You good?
Right.
Because this is what gets you paid in this league. You, like you said, it's a business. It's not about the gun control. It's not about any of that political stuff. It's about a private entity having certain rules that you have to adhere to. And if you don't do it, this is your last skid, job. So I was happy to see him get rewarded for that. Natasha,
what did he tell Prince in Purple Rain? You better kick ass tonight.
Right. Now you can see him coming back after his 25-game suspension, and the coach telling him that, like, you know, you better kick ass tonight because Jerry Jackson Jr.
He walked up. He said,
"Right, you need anything from the store, John?"
He said, you ain't too far gone to know that you doing ain't right.
Then speaking of Purple Rain, he also said, we got 3 acts. We don't need 4. Now one of you got to go. Y'all's actions and your play on and off the court were to figure out which one got to go. It ain't gonna be Bane with $200 million in tow. Jaren Jackson Jr. was just Defensive Player of the Year last year. Yep. So get it together, Ja. As Kenny said, get it together. Shouts out to Grandpa/Pa. Good morning. Anybody want something from Starbucks? Tasha, you got an order for him?
No, we drank May James.
We drank May James over here. Good morning, Miss Taylor. All right. Joshua, one more thing on the Grizzlies before we move on. They signed Derrick Rose to a 2-year contract last night. Did you know that Derrick Rose was still in the league?
You know, the only reason I knew he was is because I get the New York news and the Miami news, and they were saying that the Knicks parted ways with Derrick Rose. I was like, damn, he was still playing?
Right. I ain't seen him in a month of Sundays.
But why they down there calling them Guns and Roses now?
Sorry. As you can tell, this show is scripted but unscripted. I had no idea that was coming. That's a good one.
My boy, you know, my boy Steve, you know, the Memphis original.
Guns and Roses.
He said somebody called them Guns and Roses.
Now, Langston, not only is he still serviceable because they didn't put any miles on his legs last year. Did you see him in the playoffs when the Knicks were playing? I didn't see him get on the court. Lord, give me the strength. And you see who's in the front. And keep that picture up there, Tasha, because you walk right into what I wanted to say. Memphis is playing chess, not checkers. Now, if there's one thing that the national media doesn't know about Memphis that we know in Nashville, Tennessee, is that Memphis is a college town, and they love their Tigers more than anything. Derrick Rose is the only player in the NBA more popular in Memphis than Ja Morant. Bringing him back on the roster is just another little dig like, look, man, you think this is your city? Really, this is Derrick's city. That ovation he's going to get when he come off the bench in game 1, when Ja's out them 25 games, he's going to get a 10-minute standing ovation.
Because Derrick did it first.
Derrick did it first. Hashtag Ray J.
And do you not see how Derrick had the whole city of Memphis in the palm of his hand without acting a damn fool?
Got him to the national championship game. Mario Chalmers just crushed their dreams in overtime, but he's one of the few players that's more beloved than Ja, and he's on the roster.
Shamika, why did I tell him that I'm sick?
I'm loving the synergy. Right, I'm loving the synergy. Every time I hear that song, I think of Lean on Me. I'm loving what you're doing, Memphis. You let John know, look, we're making plans to move on without you, bro. Because you costing us money, you costing us games, you costing us TV appearances, you costing us our championship window shrinking with you, showing out. I love it. Because I'm at the point now to where I'm like, you know, how they do on the Dream Girls, move right out of my life. Move. That
would be a Sasha line to come in, but see, she's getting a facial right now. She's sending me a tweet.
Move right out of my life. Now, Tasha, it's time for us to play a game of hang in there or have a seat. Last week, and this is what predicated me to want to talk about this with you today. Last week, we got into a discussion about Damian Lillard and should he stay or should he go? Sick of Damian Lillard, by the way. Should he stay or should he go? Should he chase the ring or should he just go ahead and stay in Portland? But Tasha, there are several other players that are in the same boat. Should they hang in there with their current team or should they tell them to have a seat and go search for greener pastures elsewhere? Let's start with Joel Embiid, the reigning MVP. The process is over. You've never made it out of the second round of the playoffs, never even a conference final. James Harden opted into the final year of his contract yesterday, but he wants a trade. He wants out. So now it's just you again. You lost Jimmy Butler. You lost the kid that went crazy that went to Brooklyn, Ben Simmons, and now you're about to lose James Harden. Mm-hmm. Joel, should he hang in there with Philly, or should he tell them to have a seat in both?
I mean, he need to hang in there because it's his fault that they're in the situation they in.
Really? Please explain. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Please explain.
I mean, he out there. He. I mean, you can't help but getting injured. Okay, I get that. But then you half-ass play. You know, like you said, he begged for this MVP. He didn't really do as much.
He did beg for the MVP.
He didn't do as much begging this year as he did in the past.
But he got the sympathy vote because he begged last year.
Just like when I said with Steph and the MVP of the finals. I said because everybody's saying, oh, it's a shame such and such got one, and Steph doesn't have one.
Right.
You wanted all the smoke. You wanted all the smoke.
Smoke one for your boy.
You wanted all the smoke.
Well, that pen is full too.
No, it's almost gone.
Oh, okay. Well, smoke on, player. Smoke on.
You wanted all the smoke, but now they done blew it in your face, and you.
Mike says, "Do people not want to play with Embiid? Was that what it is?"
I don't necessarily think it's that they don't want to play with. Well, you know what? I think they're seeing that Embiid is not that man. I think that's what they're figuring out. He's like a one-man show. It's everything is for him, but he doesn't help the people around him grow. And I think that's what they're realizing now.
He a tall ass Damian Lillard. That's basically what I'm hearing here. He's like, well, F it. I'm the man here. I'm getting the max deals. I'm getting all the shot attempts. You can just keep rotating bums in and out of here. And really, they're not bums. He's played with some great players, and he never should have ran Jimmy Butler out of town.
Exactly.
You have a title by now, damn it.
Because Jimmy is the one that ain't gonna back down from you, and he gonna hold you accountable, hold your ass to the fire.
Ask the Timberwolves. Ask the
Timberwolves. Man went to practice and cut the Timberwolves out the shirt, y'all.
He said, "I'll play with the B team against the starters and beat the starters." Then walked out of practice and called them bums. That's the kind of player I need to on my roster. So you saying, Joel, don't go nowhere else because it's your fault. Wherever you go, you're gonna be there.
Exactly. He's gonna have to be one of the ones that join a super team in order to, I think win something at this point because he's not it.
All right. Well, Mike, since you in the chat, I'm asking you this along with Tasha. What about Luka? Now, he was in the conference finals 2 years ago, didn't make the playoffs last year. The team is so up and down and inconsistent. You never really know what to expect out of the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie's there for 3 years, but now Kyrie has security. Does Luka give them 3 years with Kyrie before he decides to change scenery? What do you think?
I thought you was asking Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking you.
Again, I just think what's holding Luka back is Luka, just like with Embiid. Although Luka does play harder to me than Embiid.
He cries just as hard as well.
But I think Luka at this point is just so over it, and I think he needs a reset.
So Mike, she says he needs to reset. He says, Mike says, let me bring this up. I think he'll be good. Dallas will humble you. That's what he needs. Luka, a new player. Watch.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's just. I mean, I think he's just over it, like everything, and like I mean, not in the sense that Mike is saying, but I think he's humble because he realized, hey, I'm gonna have to do more.
I'm gonna have to do more.
That's why I said he needs a whole reset. And then you get Kyrie there. Kyrie caused no problems. Kyrie did what he was supposed to do, but Luka didn't do what he was supposed to.
He sure didn't. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact that Luka was the issue between those two last year. Kyrie was even being deferential to Luka in those closing moments, and Luka was just bricking the shots or turning the ball over. I don't think it's so much of a weight thing with Luka as far as getting him into shape because he was making first team All-Pro when he was 260 pounds. I think the problem with him is upstairs. You crying about calls, you won't get back on defense, and I think that it left a real sour taste in his mouth when the team elected to tank and sit them the last game of the year, where they got a draft pick instead of going for the playoffs. We shall see. I would like to see Luka stay in Dallas because I live in Dallas and it gives us something to talk about here. But if he wants a championship and he just saw his boy Jokic just go get it, he might have them on the clock. Can you imagine Luka in a big market like New York or LA? We shall see. Now, Tasha, this one is a bit intriguing to me. Paul George. Now, remember Eastern Conference Paul? She rolled her eyes, y'all. Remember Eastern Conference Paul George, Tasha, that was making all that noise with the Indiana Pacers? It seems like he's gotten further away from a title the further he's gone west. He went to OKC, now he's in LA, and Kawhi just looked like not only can he not be trusted, but he looked like he don't give a F whether he plays or not. He don't care if it's a playoff game. I don't feel good. I'm not playing.
And I really don't think he does. He's like, hey, I got my MVPs, I got my
and my bag.
And
like, don't disrespect Paul George like that. Y'all would take him on the Mavericks. Should Paul George hang in there with Kawhi, or should he try to move on elsewhere and get a ring? Because he don't have no ring.
He needs. I think he needs to move on.
I think so too.
He needs to go somewhere where someone can utilize his talent. He needs to stay on the court. A lot of times, I think too that these players, when they feel like they ain't going nowhere, I think a lot of them can play to just be like, I ain't finna get out here and play. We ain't going nowhere. Right. Like, I think that was probably the case with Paul George this year. I think a change of scenery, but this is last time.
This is. It's about 11:45 on your pumpkin, Paul George. And I know you got a new podcast you call Podcast P. That might be your full-time job in a couple of years if you don't get it done in LA. And Kawhi is not motivated at all to help you get a championship.
No.
He quit on the team last year. The man played in game 1 and game 2, and then all of a sudden he went missing. Now we see you on a boat. Ain't nothing wrong with you, Kawhi Leonard. You just gaming the system. I ain't mad at you. You got your chip and you got your money.
NBA players are regular folk too. They don't want to go to work just like we don't.
I know I sure don't be feeling like going to work because my boss ain't on my feed no way. So that's just how that's gonna be. And half the people just commenting be like, oh, when that alarm clock go off as well. Natasha, I got a couple of interesting quotes out of the social media sphere that we're going to play a game of fair or foul with. Do you think what these people said was fair, or do you think it was foul? Let's start with Dennis Rodman. He was on Vlad TV, a.k.a. the Feds. First of all, brothers, quit going on Vlad TV. Y'all get locked up after you go on Vlad TV. That's just on the side. But he was on Vlad TV, and he was asked to comment on something Gilbert Arenas said when Gilbert Arenas recently said that Larry Bird can beat LeBron James in a one-on-one if they were both in their primes. Not only did Rodman say hell no, he said that if Larry Bird played in today's game, he'd have to play overseas. Is that fair or foul, Tasha?
That's foul. It ain't gonna be no Larry Joe, the hick from French Lick slander on this show.
Right. Now, this is the same T Sizzle who said that she would take Larry Legend over KD in a game of this or that. So, yeah, that's kind of foul. Let's not do that. I know that people get heightened sensitivity when white people put 20 or 30 on their head, but Larry Legend wasn't just white. He's like OJ. He ain't white. He's OJ. Like he's Larry. He ain't white. Like he'll give you that work. And let's not forget, Tasha. Remember,
and he had a little S curl too. Larry Joe had that little S curl.
Right. Remember in '87? I know you remember this when they put the Pistons out in 7 games, and Rodman said, "Yeah, if Larry Bird was black, he'd be just another player in the league." And they killed him and Isaiah for saying that. Let it go, Dennis. Let it go. That white boy put that work on your head.
He did.
Let it go. Now, I want to get a woman's point of view on this because the fellas went bananas in the comments when I saw this on Twitter the other day. And it was Memphis rapper GloRilla. Love that name, right? Memphis rapper GloRilla had tweeted that women need to stop wasting their time being fake classy because men really want a hood chick. Is that fair or foul, T Sizzle?
I'm going to take the hood chick part out. Men do not want classy women anymore.
All right, okay. See, that's why I come to you for the hot news.
Men in a certain demographic, age range, they ain't looking for class and quality. They looking for ass and trash.
Y'all gonna see that on the reel this week. Just a heads up. Y'all gonna see that line on the reel this week. That was money. So you saying that the era of the Felicia Rashad is over? The classy women don't get no more play?
They're not. A girl that I went to school with, her name is Memory Elizabeth, and she's from Memphis. Memory is a beautiful, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Educated, masters, got her own business, single. Sasha, educated, keep a job, keep a hustle, beautiful, single.
And there are a number of hood chicks that have several baby daddies.
Me and Mike's favorite girl, Mariah Mills, had Zion.
Wow. Now, you know what? That's a mic drop.
And
that's a mic drop.
Memory's not really into sports so much. So when we had this conversation on yesterday, I had to explain. I mean, she kind of knew what was going on, but I had to kind of explain in depth. I said, women like you and Sasha are sitting here. I said, why can't these quote unquote men of decent men, using that in quotes,
right?
Why are they not looking for women like you? They are looking for Insta thoughts and trash. They're looking for women who are posing on Instagram half naked and them they slide in their DMs. That's what they're wanting. They're not looking for quality women. So yeah, she's right. It's not, except for the hood part. They don't want classy women.
So basically she went one step too far with hood chick. She could have just left it at men really don't give second glances to classy, upscale, independent, confident women.
I mean, but then you come to find out most of these Insta thoughts and most of these women they getting off of Instagram, they thugs anyway because they out there fighting them. Look at the dude that got killed because he went up, found this beautiful Insta thought, OnlyFans model, and she went ham on him. Look at the hockey player. The guy had his wife. She went ham on him, putting all his business out there with the NHL, saying he gambling on games and doing all this. That's hood behavior to me. That's ratchet.
And let's not forget one of the most tragic stories of my beloved Steve McNair. His wife was a nurse. We'll patch him up throughout the week when he was at home healing from his numerous ailments. He cheated on her with a waitress. She killed him. The waitress. Like you had a nurse, educated, college educated, strong woman at the house, taking care of the house, raising your boys. You cheat on her with a woman and the woman kills you. That is something.
That's ghetto.
Now that's ghetto. And we're going to move on from that because it's close to 4th of July and that anniversary is rapidly approaching. That makes me sad. All right. Now, Tasha, last week the BET Awards were on, and we're not going to get into Patti LaBelle totally disrespecting Tina Turner.
First of all, I already told you.
With her old ass.
No, BET should have had a real teleprompter and not a damn karaoke machine up there for Miss Patti to sing now.
Oh, wait a minute. Melanie has a word before we move on, and she uses we as in her as well. I'm going to read this.
Look at her daughter. Smart, beautiful, master's degree, damn good job. She's single.
And this may be why she says the challenge that we bring, we think for ourselves and are not chasing their dollar. We have what it takes to make our own way. That shouldn't scare you. As a matter of fact, teamwork makes the dream work. Don't you want a woman to help you build a castle? Oh, it's easier with two.
And look, and you know, Tiffany, shouts out to our girl Tiffany Rowe. Tiffany Johnson, for y'all that don't know about Rowe. Tiffany come up with some outrageous shit. But what we had the discussion about last night is she was saying that someone she knew is dating this guy, but the girl has all the money. The guy, you know, doesn't have any credit, doesn't have this, doesn't have that. Tiffany said, I can't be around you if you don't know how to work.
Right.
Like she said, you just can't be sitting around my house looking good and having sex and you not bringing none to the table.
Right.
That's what they want. They just want that arm candy. Somebody that, oh yeah, my gal bad. Look at my gal. Let me get this baby so I get her pregnant so I can have these little swirly babies. And that's what they're looking for. Like so I gave you 3 examples: Memory, Sasha, and Morgan.
It's wow, lady, and I'm so glad that we was able to bring this topic up because there's lots of women who watch the show, and to get your thoughts on that because it was mostly guys that were responding to that tweet. Not a lot of women had chimed in on that, so that's good stuff. Hang in there, strong, independent, beautiful, classy women. There is a man out there for you. Just might not be a brother. All right.
Hey, at this point, if they ain't looking for us, why y'all got to keep looking for them? Y'all better.
GloRilla with the hitter. He says, as men, we think with the wrong head.
And that is true.
Far too often. And in the case of Steve McNair, it cost him his life. Like, the older you get, though, hey, keep living, fellas. The older you get, you're going to want some security. That Insta thought ain't finna wipe your butt or take you to dialysis twice a week. You get down and ill.
I mean, now I can say this, too. Speaking from a daughter of a player who had a cadre of women. My stepmother, by all means, the nicest woman on earth, but she for damn sure ain't no looker. And my brother, nice. my older brother and I would always be like, you know, Pops had all them bad bitches. Why he with her? Why he with her? And so we asked him, and he said, because if something were to happen to me, he said, I know she's going to take care of me. And what happened? My father got stomach cancer. He was already maybe like stage 3, almost stage 4.
Oh, wow.
When he got most of his stomach removed, scar from here to there. My father was 140 pounds, couldn't poop. What did my stepmother do? She had to physically sometimes pull the poop out of his butt. She had to bathe him. She had to make sure my father had his weed, because that's what he gave up on life. So he said, I might as well go out smoking. And that's what he did. But she took care of him. Now, I'm not saying some of these other beautiful, because he had one girl look like Layla Roshan back in the day when she was Sunshine. Ooh. And her name was Ronnie, and she worked at Delta, because we used to get them. That's when I first flew in first class. My dad had some bad ones, not to mention my mama too.
Right. Let's not leave her out.
At the end of the day, that, you know, he got with her because she would take care of him. And a lot of guys do not think for the future. They're thinking about right now. Now, I'm not saying you can pick whoever you want to.
Right.
You may not want a mud duck. You may just want a
girl. Stop that. A what?
A mud duck.
Keep going.
You may want a woman who's just beautiful and nothing on the inside. You may be okay with her taking your money as long as she's giving you, you know, the kids you want.
Right. And as long as she's smiling for the pictures to post on social media.
Right.
I would want something a little deeper than that. Like, to death do us part means a whole lot different when you about to be 50 than when you 20. Because that reef will be lurking.
And I've been bringing up his name like for the last 3 weeks. Look at your boy out there for the White Sox. Beautiful black wife. He had him a thought side piece, had a baby on her. But at the end of the day, he know that wife gonna hold him down, because what did the thought side piece baby mama do? She got mad, started putting photos and videos.
Right.
That's the kind of mess you get when you mess with a certain type of woman.
Right. If you have a nurturer at home, fellas, she's a keeper. You know. Oh, wait, whoa. Here is the mic drop for all of the fellas. A good woman that's a ride or die is sexy to me too. That is a quality that you can't quantify on a 1 to 10. No, for real. Tasha is a ride or die. The thing is, I'm not even married to her. And if I need her to talk me off the ledge, she'll talk me off the ledge. If I need her to get on my stuff because I'm not acting right, she'll do that. If I'm getting jumped in the alley, guess who's gonna tie up that do-rag and jump in there with me? Like, that type of person is indispensable. And that's why she's right here 30 years later. Because she ain't going no damn where. I'm like, hey, Gino. So I'm like, hey, Gino, can I borrow your wife for a few minutes? I need to talk to somebody. You don't let those women go. Martrice Hastings, one of those women. Miss Sheila, happy belated birthday, one of those women. Stacey Hassel, one of those women. Like, you got one of them women, you good, bro. You good. Just if you get a little feisty, just Pornhub. You got everything you need and going back home to your family. I'd rather you do it on the PH than do it on the DL. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, we're going to get to Patty, old ass, messing up Tina's. Did y'all see that?
First of all, you finna stop, because I done already told you. Patty sang her own songs. Patty don't get out here shuffling for no corn, shooking for the man. to sing somebody else's tunes.
If I sing simply the best, this is the BET Awards. Where's Proud Mary? Like, everybody know the words to that.
Right. That's BET fault again for putting that damn karaoke machine up there for Patty to read. Y'all don't come up off Patty. Because baby, that voice is a treasure.
Mike, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Tina Turner had a tribute on the BET Awards last Sunday, and Patty Pies LaBelle got up there and sang, I done forgot the words. I don't know the words, so I can't see the teleprompter. Now, Mike, you know good and damn well they didn't tell her on Saturday that she had a performance to do on Sunday. She should have had them words memorized.
Patty is too preoccupied with anybody else's music because she has her own catalog of hits.
Do one of your songs then and just blow a kiss to Tina, or put a big picture of her up there, or have a man come out there and choke you. You know what? Let me stop. That was. Hold on. Patty should have just started singing on my own.
She should just kick her shoes off and sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
But Michael got down with her on that one. Michael McDonald got down with her on my own. That's one of the best duets ever.
Never should be
so many times.
You know what he said? Losing you it cuts.
Oh, Treese, I'm sorry, Treese.
See? Thank you, Treese.
I'm sorry. Hey, if Treese tell me to go sit down, I'm finna go sit down. So let's move on along. So the essence of that BET Awards, as I got sidetracked, I'm sorry, Martrice Baby Cakes, right there. Sorry, Tasha. Was that it was hip hop's 50th birthday. Damn it, we old. Hip hop done turned 50 on us. So, in honor of hip hop's 50th birthday, we got to know what Tasha's top 5 hip hop artists of all time are. The floor is yours.
Okay. First, NWA, as everyone knows. NWA.
Yeah.
Next is them Canes. UGK.
I thought UGK would be your number one.
Well, it's just the fact that I was rolling with NWA first. So I got them Canes on there.
All righty.
Next, I got Titty Boy. You don't know who that is? AKA 2 Chainz. Man, I don't know.
If them feds watching.
I don't know what it is about 2 Chainz, but when Chainz hit with I'm riding around, I'm getting it. When he came out with that, oh my God.
Good morning, mama.
Next is Nasty Nas himself. Oh my God.
All right.
I love Nas so. Oh my God, I love Nas so much.
So you was really cheering on Ether then when he ate Jay-Z up and ended that whole Cold War. Jay-Z never recovered from that. He had to go get married.
You think? And last but not least, this is kind of a wild card because their career wasn't really just long, but they just stood out with me, and that's Eric B. and Rakim.
I could literally just go through that whole first album line by line, and we could just do the whole. I was a fiend before I became a teen. You know what? I'm not gonna. I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now, slam it when I'm done to make sure it's broke. When I'm done, I want the song because I won't let nobody press up or mess up the C I said. I like to stand in the crowd and watch the people wonder, damn, you think about it then, you understand. I'm just an addict, addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit. I gotta use it. Even if it's just in the quiet store, I'm gonna stop. Rock
As I'm doing the 80s dance.
Hey. Not Gen Z. Get on. Get on. All right, that list was fire. All right, I knew you was gonna bring the heat, but that list was fire. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
I'm shouting out 2 people. Well, kind of 3 people. 2 people in particular. One is my sweet baby girl. Some of you knew, like she put in her post, and some of you didn't. She is the coach for. She said Spit Son. Nolensville High School JV cheerleading squad, and they're doing little fundraisers. If anyone is interested, I can probably put a link in there or have her do it later on. Next, my shout out goes to a lady here that none of you don't know, but that's my laser lady. I'm gonna be hair free in FOMO treatments.
You a hair free OG?
I'm gonna be walking around like that cat with no hair. I'm gonna be that hairless cat with the skin. All you're gonna see is skin.
They said you're gonna look like a leather purse.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a puss. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Shout out to Silence of the Lambs. Lastly, shouting out to my lovely, sweet husband. Guys, our anniversary is tomorrow.
All right. Congratulations. Nolensville High School Band is at 1. Congratulations, Sasha. Congratulations, Nisi Pooh. I have 2 off the beaten path shout outs today. As Mike says, congrats, y'all.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to one Mr. Carl Lewis, who turned 62 years young today.
Joe is best is called Lewis. He's black, not Jewish.
Lewis.
He's on stage. Do it.
And, all right. As the congratulations continue to pour in from the Goon Squad, we love y'all. Like, not only is Carl Lewis 62 years young today, but he was responsible for the most memorable Star Spangled Banner of all time.
Uh-oh.
Remember, Tasha, remember, and the Rockets. Red Clap. Uh-oh. I'm going to make up for that one, y'all. If you've never seen Carl Lewis's Star Spangled Banner, please YouTube that today. It's the best 90 seconds you will spend all day.
Oh. The man said, and the Rockets. Red Glare. The crowd said,
right, the crowd groaned. They was like, oh.
He said, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He said, don't worry, I'm going to make up for that. Uh-oh. No, remember that? Uh-oh. All right. And happy belated birthday to Miss Hastings.
Yes,
Mama Hastings. Yet, Miss Hastings. You turned 21 yet? You're looking about 19.
Please don't get her no liquor. She ain't old enough.
You know what? My mama don't drink no liquor either. Shouts out to y'all liquor-free OGs. I respect and appreciate that. And last but not least, happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Man, what you said.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Oh, wait a minute. 68 and looking great. All right. She said, I'm proud of my age. I ain't ducking a thing. Looking fantastic. Miss Hastings, happy birthday to you. I'll take all the shots. Toast up for her. But happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Everybody knows it well, if you don't know, we're going to educate you right here.
And I normally wear my Mets shirt every July 1st, but I had an appointment this morning and I didn't want to get it messed up.
Well, you look fantastic anyway. July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day. The man last played in 2001. He exercised, and it was the Mets. So thank you, because I was searching for the team. He had a buyout clause with the Mets to where he decided to defer his payments over 25 years, where they didn't pay him in one lump sum. The man has been getting payments of $1,193,763 every July 1st through 2035. They said he's the 20th highest paid player in baseball this year.
And you know the bad part about it, and this man was a piece of shit, that deal was brokered primarily because of Bernie Madoff.
Well, Bernie, you did something good before you went on into that upper room.
But at least for Bobby Bonilla, now he ain't in that upper room. He needs to be burning in the pits of hell.
Down there with Marge Shot?
Yeah.
We're going to be nice to Marge Shot. But I want to give him credit for being so forward thinking, because nobody takes a deferred payment on nothing. We want all our money right now.
Right, because you could die. Because what if you die?
And who thinks that far into 2035 and you about to end in 2001? Hey, what's going on, my nephew Carter? Bobby Bonilla and Master P brokered the 2 best deals in black contract history. And they both still millionaires a gazillion times over. So shouts out to them. Tasha, why don't you take us out with a little patty, since you're such a patty fan. You got any patty on you?
First of all, you keep coming up with this slander against Patty, and I don't like.
Forgot the words. So many times.
No.
Now somebody came and messed up. I got a new attitude. She come out of her casket. She kicked her shoes off first.
New dress, new shoes. Come on, Patty.
We'll be enjoying your pies for 4th of July. You got any 4th of July plans, Tasha? And on that note, y'all, we will see y'all in 6 days and 23 hours. Until then, y'all be safe out there. Have a great. And look who comes in at the very end. Hey, congratulations on your new job. You're going to be a great coach. You're going to be the Pat Summit of cheerleading. Multiple titles are in your future. And Tasha, she said, I can't believe you didn't give an honorable mention to DJ Quick.
Now everybody wants to know the truth about a brother named Quick.
Gangster walk with me. We're going to take you out with a little gangster walk. How about that? We'll see y'all next week.
Have no end because I'm a veteran from the CO. Wimpy to win. Kicking for raise. Happy Canada Day. Hey, yeah.